Hello and welcome to another edition of Hendricks County Cooks. I'm Abby here at the Plainfield-Guilford Township Public Library, and I am pleased to present our dynamic duo. We have two cousins tonight. We have Reann and Jenny, and I'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Reann, and I work here at the library. I've been down in the Indiana room for over 20 years, so you may recognize me.
I'm Jenny and I'm a teacher at Lebanon High School. I teach culinary and child development.
Well, wonderful. Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here tonight. Now, what did you bring with you? Tell me what you brought. This looks pretty neat.
Well, tonight we're going to kind of go back in our family history because we are making a recipe that our grandmother made. So we thought we would bring, we have two cookbooks that are identical, however they are from different parts of the family. So this is our grandmother's cookbook, and she, like any good cook, made notes in it, so it's really fun that we have her original handwriting recipes that, you know, pages falling out. And then we have another one.
I have a siblings cookbook, and they're quite different. They have recipe cards and newspaper from 1973.
Yeah, so very treasured in our family, so we're happy to have those.
So you're cousins, so you got to grow up together here in Hendricks County. And do you have any fun memories from meeting up at Grandma and Grandpa's house? Especially any fun memories involving cooking?
Yes. Jiffy Pop.
Jiffy.
So on Friday nights, Grandpa was an avid Cubs fan, and so we would do Jiffy Pop and watch the game whether you wanted to or not.
That's right. So we love our Jiffy Pop.
Yes.
So.
That is just about the best.
Yeah.
Oh, fun. So that is a very favorite memory you have.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
We also brought this, which is kind of unique and cool. It's the lamb cake, and so
it's very unique.
Yeah.
I've never seen a lamb cake.
So for Easter, not every year, but you know, a lot of years, our grandmother would make this lamb cake. So we have the recipe. Unfortunately, we don't have the handwriting because there's a typewritten recipe, but it says lamb cake. So you would make the cake, and she would put it in either side,
and then bake it. And then when it came out, she would ice it and it would stand up like this. And she would color coconut green, and it would sit in
like a little grass field
Yeah.
of coconut, and she'd ice it like a lamb.
Yep, it's usually white.
Yeah. So the lamb cake is a fun memory. So
where does the lamb cake live now? Whose house is it?
My
at?
mom's.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So our moms were sisters.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And how many siblings were there?
In
Grandma's?
Just
our
our
two.
moms.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so who taught you both how to cook?
There were a lot of people that taught me. So I remember Aunt Judy coming up and teaching me how to peel potatoes the correct way. And so, but then I also remember Grandma, you know, cooking with her and my mom and all that.
So I remember my mom teaching me primarily, and grandmother, but Aunt Phyllis too. Like the fried chicken. Like she's like the queen of fried chicken. So she showed me how to do that and some other dishes, like when we would come up and stay. So our grandmother had 4 other sisters, 3 of whom we were always with. They were never married, so they were always at every family gathering. So really great cooks too. So we learned from all of them actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
Yeah.
So what are some of the other, besides the lamb cake, what are some other old recipes that you remember?
We have this banana salad that always came, like usually we would do a reunion every year and somebody would bring this.
Yeah, it's called banana peanut salad, which sounds weird, but it's delicious.
Yes.
It's like it's like bananas with butterscotch custard and then really pulverized peanuts crushed in there, and you just layer it up, and yeah. And my brother and her brother have been known to eat a lot of it. Like,
Yes.
You know, be like, don't let the boys get in. So I know. So banana peanut salad. We were talking.
There's a pineapple cheese salad that they made with marshmallows. So I don't like marshmallows, so I would get like a little bowl first, and then they would add the marshmallows.
Yeah.
But
Pineapple cheese marshmallow salad.
yes,
That's another unusual one.
very
We didn't have that in my family.
I didn't-
get-togethers.
I didn't care for the cheese part. She didn't like the marshmallows. I didn't like the cheese, but it's all good. So.
yeah.
But I'm trying to think what else. It was just a lot of good farm cooking, a lot of home cooking, homemade noodles.
Oh, Thanksgiving.
Persimmon pudding.
Oh yes, and it's pudding, not a cake.
Not cake. We get so irritated when we see like recipes for persimmon pudding and it comes out like a cake.
Cake, yes.
No. Persimmon, it's this consistency of almost like super thick apple butter. Where
Yes.
Kind of. And you just bake it and you keep stirring it, baking it, and it's just delightful pudding. So, yeah.
You put a little whipped topping on it.
Oh, delicious.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah, it's good.
So what are you going to make for us tonight? This is another special recipe.
It is.
Go ahead.
It's called Icebox Cookies. Very simple, but we remember our grandmother making these, and it's kind of a brown sugar based cookie, but it's just, you make it, you put it in the icebox, and they would put it in their icebox because this recipe preceded refrigeration. So, so we thought we would bring back the icebox cookie recipe, which I haven't even made in forever.
I just made it the other day.
Yeah. So anyway, and we have an original recipe card with the handwriting, although we're not sure if it's our grandmother's or maybe my mother's handwriting, but it says Grandma Church on it, so we're counting it as hers.
So Grandma Church's Icebox Cookie recipe tonight. I can't wait. Well, thank you both so much for being here. I can't wait.
Happy to welcome you. We are going to prepare for you right now Icebox Cookies, compliments of our grandmother, Sally Joseph Church. And we are very fortunate to have the recipe in nice script handwriting from the original. So we're going to start. It says in the recipe to put everything together and mix it by hand, but we're not going to do that. So we're going to start with using our not our wet ingredients, but the butters and the sugars, and we're going to cream those in the stand mixer. So I'm going to go ahead and put this out. We have
3 cups of brown sugar.
So we'll put that in.
We have 1 cup of granulated sugar.
That goes in.
We have a half a cup of butter.
And this is room temperature, so it is easy to blend in with the sugars. It's not going to be rock hard if you take it right out of the refrigerator. So let it sit out about an hour or so, or half an hour, I don't know.
Half hour do it. And it has to be butter, no margarine. It makes it taste different. And then a half a cup of, the recipe says lard. We're using Crisco.
If you have lard, you can use lard. So all right. So I'm going to cream these together, and so they're kind of a nice fluffy consistency, and we'll show you what it looks like. So we finished with the butters and the sugars, and we're going to show you what it looks like. It's a little crumbly, but it look like that, and that is perfect. So next, Jenny is going to do the next step.
So we have a tablespoon of vanilla, a tablespoon of sweet cream, so like heavy cream.
Whipping cream, yeah.
And then you need 4 eggs. And so I learned this trick, how to crack an egg. If you crack it on the side, it will shatter the eggs. So if you take 2, make 1, and then it cracks a solid line. Always crack eggs in another bowl before putting them in your cookie, and that way if there happens to be a shell, the shell will stick to the bottom of the bowl, and you can see it.
And if you happen to have a bad egg, then you haven't ruined the whole product. So
Yes.
All right, in they go. So our next step is to add the dry ingredients. We have 6 cups of flour, regular all-purpose flour.
We have 1 tablespoon of soda, 1 teaspoon of cream of tartar, and 1 teaspoon of salt.
So we're going to add this gradually into the batter here, and it will form a nice stiff cookie dough. So before we do that, we wanted to show you our aprons though. So we're wearing our vintage aprons that were our grandmother's, made and hand embroidered these flowers and designs. So we have 3 or 4 or 5 of them that still are in our family, so we're very happy to have those. So we're wearing our 1950s duds tonight. So, all right, we're going to add the dry ingredients. We'll be right back.
Okay, so your dough is going to be pretty thick, and if it's a little too thick, you can just add some whipping cream.
A little extra. And while we're here showing the whipping cream, we wanted to show you our measuring cups, which were our grandmother's. We brought those in too. So they're very, I feel like they're very 1940s and 50s, and they're super cool, and we love using them. So anyway, we're going to dump this out, one big fell swoop. And there's a lot more left in the bowl. So while she's scraping that, we're going to make it into 2 loaves, because they need to go in the icebox because they're icebox cookies. So you can't bake them right away, which is why we didn't tell you to preheat the oven. So don't preheat the oven yet because we're not ready.
And they were smaller logs because the icebox is not the same size as ours today.
Right, so we're going to kind of just shape them into a log, a tree branch, whatever. Good. Okay. So we have our logs kind of shaped, but we're going to do a little trick here to help you get them a little more even. So take your parchment paper and just roll it up and push down as you go. All right. When we roll them back, we have 2 logs of icebox cookie dough.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
So the next thing you're going to do is get a big piece of saran wrap and okay.
Well, there we go.
There we go. Okay.
We didn't practice with the saran wrap, so. All right.
Okay. So you're going to wrap the logs, each individual, and then we're going to put them in the refrigerator for overnight for the icebox.
And it's important to let them chill overnight, or at least a few hours, because they need to be kind of firm when you take them out to bake them. So there's the first one. So here is one of the rolls of our icebox cookies, and we're going to just slice and bake, and that's all you have to do. And Jenny's going to add a little sprinkle of coarse sugar on the top.
Okay.
So
there are actually 3 different temperatures that you can bake it at. One of them is 350 for 8 minutes. The best is either 375 for 6 minutes, maybe 1 more minute, and then at 400 for 5 minutes and 30 seconds. We chose 375.
For whatever that is, 7 minutes or
yes.
whatever. So anyway, you just slice them and bake them, and it's important that you slice and bake right out of the refrigerator. Don't let the dough get to room temperature. Okay. So they're ready to go in the oven. So here are our icebox cookies, fresh out of the oven, sort of. And we're gonna just put them on a plate for all to enjoy. And you can see they do flatten out a little bit, so when you put them on the cookie tray, don't bunch them up together. Keep them a little separate so they can have room to party in the oven. So, but
You're looking for a light golden brown, and they can be doughy in the middle. That's the best way.
that's the deliciousness of them. This batch we baked earlier with some dough that was not straight out of the refrigerator. So it kind of flattened out, and it just flattened out, and we didn't like it. So be sure to keep your dough in the refrigerator until you're ready to bake it. So, icebox cookies.
recording
Do you want me
again.
to do that on behalf of?
Doesn't matter.
That was cheesy.
Just do whatever you want.
Hello?
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we're going to prepare icebox.
I'll cut that out. We're good.
Okay, so we're going to prepare icebox cookies, compliments of Sally Joseph, who.
Big breath, you've got this.
You should do it. Okay, ready?
You should do it.
Tonight we're going. Oh, I can't say tonight.
Sorry, today. I can't wait to cook for you, bake for you. Today.